Have you ever felt like something was calling you, but you couldn't explain it? That strange pull in your chest. The sense that something important is near. That sip's not your imagination. That sip's heaven. And right now Archangel Michael is delivering a message so urgent, the angels fought to get it to you. Don't skip. Don't scroll. This is your moment. And what I say next could be the confirmation you've prayed for in silence. My beloved child, there is something I must speak into your spirit right now, and you must not look away. Only 2 minutes remain in the spiritual realm before a shift takes place that could affect your destiny. You are not here by accident. You did not scroll to this by coincidence. Heaven has been whispering your name, and Archangel Michael has been dispatched with a message that cannot be delayed. You must hear every word, not later, not tomorrow, now. There has been a storm raging in the unseen, a war over your soul, your purpose, your peace. You have felt it, haven't you? The unrest, the heaviness, the strange timing, what others call coincidences, your spirit has recognized as clues. But now heaven makes it clear. This is your divine moment of awakening. The angels are gathering, a decision is being made in the realm you cannot see, and Michael says, you must stay until the final word, for what I reveal today will change everything. Heaven's time is not like man's time, and the countdown you feel in your chest is real. I see the weight you've carried, the loneliness you hide behind your smile, the nights you've cried in silence. You've questioned if heaven still remembers you, but I am here to tell you, not only are you remembered, you are being fought for. Archangel Michael himself has gone before the throne to speak your name. Your tears have been recorded, your pain has been noticed, and your breakthrough, yes, your breakthrough is closer than you can imagine. If you're still here, it means you were chosen. Chosen to receive what others have missed. Chosen to be awakened. Chosen to rise. Not everyone will understand what I'm about to reveal. Not everyone will believe it, but you will feel it, in your chest, in your breath, in your bones. The signs around you were never just random. That dream, that number, that moment of pause before you opened this message, it was all divinely timed to bring you here. Type Amen if your heart is open. Speak it out loud if your spirit feels the urgency, because Michael says this moment has been orchestrated by heaven to expose what the enemy tried to hide and protect what God is about to release. The air around you is shifting. Can you feel it? That subtle tremble in your spirit is not fear, it is awareness, a holy awareness that you are no longer walking in the same energy. Archangel Michael speaks. A portal has opened. A window of divine decision is active, and heaven is leaning in. Your next response will determine the flow of what comes next. Do not treat this lightly. This is a divine summons, not a suggestion. The angels are watching. Your name is being spoken in realms you cannot yet see. My child, the reason you felt spiritual tension is because something sacred is approaching. And what is sacred always draws conflict from the shadows. That delay you've been wrestling with, it wasn't a denial. It was spiritual warfare. That door that wouldn't open, that connection that went silent, that moment you felt abandoned, it was all part of the battle raging over your future. But hear this now, the battle is turning. And you, beloved one, are not losing. You are being repositioned for victory. Michael has declared that a decision was made in heaven last night on your behalf. Yes, your name was presented. And while the enemy tried to argue your past, the blood of the Lamb cried louder. Grace stood in the gap. Mercy silenced accusation, and the voice of your intercessor declared, this one is mine. You are not what you did. You are not what they said. You are not the mistakes or missed moments. You are chosen. You are rising. You are stepping into divine alignment. Even now. There are angels stationed around you, some you've never felt until today. You may feel pressure in your chest, warmth in your palms, or tears rising without reason. That is not emotion. That is encounter. It is heaven pressing against the fabric of your reality. It is the Spirit awakening something eternal inside you. Do not brush it off. Do not dismiss it. Heaven is speaking, and this time, you are listening. Something you prayed for, long ago, perhaps even in desperation, is about to surface again. But this time, it won't be delayed. It won't be stolen. It won't slip through your hands. Because now, you know how to hold it. Now you're prepared, and heaven will not allow you to miss what's rightfully yours. My beloved, listen closely now, because what I'm about to say carries weight in both the natural and the supernatural. You are standing on sacred ground. Not because of where you are, but because of what time it is. Heaven measures moments not by clocks, but by calling. And right now, a divine calling is colliding with your timeline. Archangel Michael says, this is not a season, this is a spiritual threshold. Once crossed, you will not return the same. You may have noticed it already. People falling away without explanation, opportunities closing without warning, emotions rising without cause. That's not chaos, that's pruning. God is removing what cannot walk with you into your next. Some of the weight you're carrying isn't yours to hold. It's residue from attachments that no longer align with your destiny. And so the Lord says, let go, not out of pain, but out of peace. Because what's coming will require clean hands and a clear spirit. There is a divine release scheduled over your life. Finances that have been blocked. Relationships that have been confused. Favor that has been withheld. All of it is about to shift. But hear this warning from Michael. You must not sabotage the blessing by doubting your worth. Don't question why it's happening. Don't shrink when it arrives. You were made for this. Even if your past whispers otherwise, your purpose speaks louder. Heaven has kept a record of every seed you've sown in silence, every tear that watered the ground in secret, and now comes the harvest. You are being called into clarity. The veil is lifting, and what once seemed hidden will soon make sense. You will understand why they left, why it broke, why it didn't happen when you begged for it. Because the Lord wasn't withholding, He was protecting, delaying until your heart could handle the blessing without making it an idol. And now, child, your heart is ready. This is your instruction. Stay positioned. Don't retreat into fear. Beloved one, the hour is near, and as Archangel Michael draws his sword in the heavens, a divine decree is being written over your name, sealed, authorized, and irreversible. You are about to step into a level of purpose that was prophesied over your bloodline generations ago. The enemy tried to intercept it through trauma, through betrayal, through delay, but every attack failed, every plan fell apart at the feet of your resilience. What you thought would break you only broke the chains. What you thought would bury you only buried what wasn't meant to follow you. And now, child, you are rising, not as who you were, but as who you've always been beneath the pain. The mask is gone. The wilderness is ending. You are coming out of the shadows and into the center of your assignment. And here is the truth you must carry forward. Your voice is needed. Your story is sacred. The way you survived silently has become the weapon you will now use to set others free. Heaven is not asking you to perform. It's asking you to be authentic, be aligned, be aware. You don't need to impress anyone to enter what God has already assigned to you. What is coming will find you when you stop chasing what was never yours. Let it go. Release the resentment. Clear the space. A fresh wind is blowing, and it's bringing answers to questions you stopped asking. The phone call, the letter, the confirmation. It's all aligned. But hear this, child. Do not just watch for signs. Be one. Be the person whose presence makes darkness tremble. Be the one who walks into rooms and shifts the atmosphere, because heaven walks with you. Michael says, what's coming will not just change your life, it will change the lives of those attached to your obedience. This is legacy. This is spiritual inheritance, and it begins now, not someday, not after one more delay, not after one more test. Now, your angels have fought for it, your spirit has prepared for it, and God has confirmed it. So walk forward, mighty one, not timidly, not confused, but boldly, confidently, with the knowing that this moment was always yours. Child of promise, As we enter these final moments together, heaven grows even more still, because the weight of what's about to be released into your life is not ordinary, it is eternal. You are standing at the edge of a divine intersection, where what was, what is, and what shall be converge in sacred clarity. Archangel Michael says, this is the moment many never reach, not because they weren't chosen, but because they walked away too soon. But you didn't. You stayed. You endured. You believed through the silence. You pressed on when no one saw your sacrifice. And because of that, you are crossing over. You are stepping into the realm of fulfillment, where prayers become presence, and what was prophesied becomes visible. The divine doors that once required knocking are now opening at the sound of your name. Yes, your name. Not the version of you they tried to distort. Not the identity wrapped in pain and rejection. Your true name, the one God spoke before the foundations of the earth. That name has been spoken in heaven's courtroom and etched into the scrolls of destiny. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are right on time, and time itself is bowing to the plan of God over your life. Michael declares, the delay was never denial, it was divine alignment. And now that the pieces have come together, now that your spirit has matured, now that your discernment has sharpened, heaven says, proceed, proceed into the promise, proceed into the vision, proceed into the very thing you once believed was too good for someone like you. Child, you were never disqualified, only disguised, and that disguise is lifting. Expect divine reversal, expect unexpected favor, expect a phone call, an apology, a breakthrough that requires no effort, only reception. The angels are rejoicing, not because you are perfect, but because you are aligned. And in this moment, as heaven watches, as Michael stands ready, as your ancestors rejoice in the cloud of witnesses, all of creation echoes the decree, it is done, the door is open, the light is shining, and your name is being called. Walk forward now, walk fully, walk free. This is not just your next chapter, it's your divine beginning. And now, my beloved child, let these final words settle deeply in your soul, for they come not only from the mouth of Michael, but from the heart of your Creator, who formed you in secret, and has watched over you with unwavering love. Everything you have survived, every betrayal, every delay, every confusing detour, it all brought you here. To this sacred threshold. This is your confirmation, this is your miracle in motion. The divine countdown that has echoed in your spirit for so long has reached its final seconds, not as a threat but as a transition. You are not just moving forward, you are being lifted. Heaven is ushering you into a realm where what was once heavy becomes holy, where the tears you cried are transformed into living water that refreshes others, and where the rejection you endured becomes the proof of your set-apart purpose. Archangel Michael stands over you now, shield in one hand, sword in the other, not in warning, but in honor. You have been faithful with little, and now the heavens prepare to trust you with much. The whispers in your dreams, the strange patterns you noticed, the names that kept returning to your heart, all of it is leading to a moment of divine clarity. In the next 3 days, expect a sign so unmistakable, it will cause you to pause in awe. It may be quiet, it may be small, but your spirit will know this is it. This is the confirmation, and when it comes, do not hesitate. Speak your yes with confidence. Move with grace. Open your hands and receive. For this is the moment heaven timed with divine precision. The moment angels whispered about long before you were even born. And now, as this message comes to a close, understand this: your journey is not ending, it is only beginning. You were chosen, you were sealed, and now you are sent. Go forth, mighty one. Carry the fire, guard the oil, and let the world witness what heaven has already written, the rise of the one they never saw coming. If your spirit receives this, type Amen, and prepare, because everything is about to change. Child, the heavens are still speaking, and Michael says the ink has not dried yet on what is being written about you. Yes, you. There are still lines unfolding in your story that even the angels lean in to witness. You have felt the tension lately, haven't you? That pull between staying where it's safe and stepping into the unknown. That's not fear, it's transition. You are in the in-between space, where the old has lost its grip, but the new hasn't fully arrived, and that's where most people turn back. But you, beloved one, have been called to press forward. Because what waits on the other side of your obedience is not just a blessing, it's a reintroduction. You are about to be reintroduced, even to yourself. The version of you that trauma buried, that heartbreak silenced, that life tried to forget. God is resurrecting that part of you, the bold you, the hopeful you. Michael says, I have guarded that light through every dark night. You thought it was gone, but it was only hidden. And now, heaven is ready to unveil it, not just for your sake, but for the lives that will be changed through your obedience. There is someone watching your life, someone whose faith is hanging by a thread, and they don't even know it yet. But your breakthrough will be the sign they've been begging God for. That is why this process has felt so intense. That is why you've been pressed but not crushed, stretched but not broken. Because your life is becoming a message, a living testimony, a lighthouse for those still lost in the storm you just survived. Don't underestimate what your simple yes can shift in the spirit. Don't downplay what your survival already speaks. Heaven is marking this season in your scroll, not as a time of pain but as the point of pivot, the sacred bend in your story, where everything begins to align. And as you read these words, know this, the angels have not left. The heavens have not gone quiet. You are still being written into glory, and what comes next will remind you why the waiting was worth it. Beloved, lean in even closer now, because what I must reveal goes deeper than comfort. It reaches into the foundation of why you were born. You are not just passing through this life by chance. You were assigned to this era for a reason, far beyond what you see in the mirror. Archangel Michael says, there is an anointing upon your life that has been tested by fire and proven unshakable. That is why hell tried so hard to break you, not because you were weak, but because you were dangerous. Dangerous to darkness, dangerous to deception, dangerous to every generational curse that dared try to repeat itself through you. You weren't born to repeat history, you were born to rewrite it. And now, heaven is giving you the pen. For years it may have felt like you were waiting for someone else to validate you, open the door for you, call your name, recognize your worth. But now, heaven is declaring, you are the one we've been waiting for. You are the open door. You are the shift. You are the answer to a prayer someone in your bloodline whispered decades ago. They may not have lived to see it, but their faith planted the seed, and now you are the harvest. And this is why the pressure has felt unbearable at times, because you are carrying not just your story, but their dreams, their intercession, their unfinished assignments that God chose to complete through you. The moment you said yes, even in your brokenness, even in your doubt, even in your trembling, the heavens rejoiced. Because the yes of an obedient heart carries more power than the shouts of 1,000 proud ones. And now, everything around you is beginning to respond to that yes. Doors are creaking open that you didn't even knock on. People are remembering you. Opportunities are aligning. And even as you read this, you feel it in your spirit, that this is not just another moment. This is sacred ground, a holy interruption. You are being awakened, not just emotionally, but spiritually, prophetically, divinely. The dreams you set aside are stirring again, not because they're haunting you, but because they're ready to be fulfilled. Heaven is saying, pick them up again. The timing is now. And as Michael watches over you, sword still drawn, shield still raised, know this with absolute certainty. You are on the brink of something the enemy can't touch, can't reverse, can't block. Because what is for you now comes directly from the throne of God. Child, listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal is what the enemy fears the most. Your clarity. Yes, clarity. Not wealth, not titles, not even favor, because those things can come and go. But when a chosen one like you walks in spiritual clarity, they become unstoppable. Archangel Michael says the veil is being lifted right now over areas you've been praying about for years. The confusion wasn't your fault. The delay wasn't punishment. It was a divine fog meant to slow your steps while the traps ahead of you were dismantled. And now, as you're reading these very words, the fog is lifting. Heaven is sharpening your sight. You're going to start seeing people for who they really are, not in judgment, but in wisdom. You'll feel in your spirit when something is right and when something is wrong, even if your mind can't explain why.
That's discernment. That's the gift your angels have been preparing you to use all along, and now you must trust it. Trust the pull in your stomach. Trust the tension in your chest. Trust the dreams that won't let you sleep. They are not interruptions, they are instructions. God is not just speaking to you through scripture or sermons anymore. He's speaking through impressions, through timing, through patterns, that repeated number, that recurring name, that sudden interruption to your plans. These aren't coincidences, they're coded signals from the divine. Michael says, if they truly knew who you are becoming, they wouldn't have underestimated you. But don't waste time trying to convince anyone. Your fruit will speak for itself. Let your glow confuse them. Let your growth expose them. This is not the season to explain. This is the season to evolve. Every betrayal you've endured has become bricks in the foundation of the platform God is building under your feet. What they meant to bury you became fertilizer for your favor, and soon the very people who walked away will have to watch you walk through doors they were never assigned to enter. But don't gloat, don't resent, just keep your hands clean and your heart pure, because the level you're rising to requires more than skill. It requires sanctification, and heaven will not bless what pride tries to hold. So stay low, stay humble, stay hungry. You're about to see why you had to endure the pain in private, because the reward that's coming will be public, powerful, and permanent. Beloved, as heaven leans even closer, Archangel Michael said, the moment you've been unknowingly preparing for your entire life is already unfolding. You may not feel it in your environment yet, but deep within your spirit, something has shifted, and you can't go back to who you used to be. The discomfort you feel in familiar places isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's proof that you've outgrown what once fit you. This is not just elevation, this is transformation. The you that tolerated silence when you needed to speak, that shrank to avoid judgment, that dimmed your light to keep peace, that you is gone, and now heaven is inviting the real you to rise. But Michael wants you to be aware, the enemy doesn't attack empty vessels. The intensity of the resistance lately, it's confirmation you've stepped into a realm of influence, of visibility, of authority that terrifies hell. The very dreams you were mocked for are being marked by God for manifestation. The very calling you tried to hide is the one that will draw others into their own deliverance. You don't need to force anything. Favor doesn't fight for attention, but you must be ready. Ready to let go of outdated alliances, ready to make uncomfortable choices, ready to stop watering connections that only survive through you.
There are people clinging to you not out of love, but out of fear that your growth will expose their complacency. Let them go. Don't negotiate with what God has already called you to release, because what He's sending next will not confuse you, will not delay you, will not drain you. It will confirm you. And here's what your spirit must remember. You're not too late. That lie has tried to creep into your mind in quiet moments, hasn't it? That whisper that says you missed it, that the opportunity passed, that others were chosen, and you were overlooked. But heaven breaks that lie now in the name of truth. You are right on time, because God doesn't operate on clocks. He operates on obedience. And your obedience has summoned a wave of restoration so specific, so targeted, that even the parts of your soul you forgot how to pray for will be revived. Michael is moving. Your angels are watching. And the next person who underestimates you will have to witness your prophecy fulfilled in front of them. Child, I must tell you now what you may have suspected, but haven't had confirmed. There is someone who has been praying for your failure, someone who smiled in your presence while speaking curses over your name in silence. Archangel Michael says this is not to frighten you, but to free you, because for too long you felt an invisible resistance in your life, a tension that had no name, a delay that had no reason, and now heaven is exposing it, not through gossip, not through revenge, through divine discernment. You will begin to see it clearly now, the people, the patterns, the places that have secretly siphoned your peace, and you must act. This is a season of spiritual boundaries, a season where your no will be more powerful than your yes. You are not being called to save everyone. You are being called to protect what God has placed in you. The oil on your life is too expensive to be spilled in places that do not honor it. You've been carrying others emotionally, spiritually, even financially, not out of pride, but out of compassion. And while heaven honors your heart, it is now calling you into alignment, because the assignment that's coming next will require all of you, not the fragmented version that's exhausted from pouring into what does not pour back. You must make peace with disappointing people in order to stop disappointing heaven. Let that settle. You must make peace with disappointing people in order to stop disappointing heaven. Michael says this is the activation moment. A divine switch is flipping, a spiritual gate is closing, and what you do next will determine what flows to you or what drains from you. Heaven will not force you to release what you're still clinging to, but it will withhold what cannot land until your hands are empty. You're not losing people, you're losing interference, and what may feel like separation is actually preservation. Heaven knows what's ahead, and in the days to come you'll look back on this moment not with sorrow but with gratitude, because you'll realize what God kept you from was far more dangerous than what you thought you lost. Be still, be wise, be obedient. Your peace is not a luxury, it's a weapon, and your protection isn't passive, it's angelic. Walk wisely now, heaven is watching, and victory is closer than it's ever been. Beloved, as we continue, Michael says to pause your thoughts, because what's coming next must not be heard with your mind but with your spirit. This is the moment where your atmosphere begins to shift, not by emotion, but by divine decree. You are not simply being encouraged, you are being reprogrammed, rewired from every lie that told you to settle, to doubt, to keep your head down when you were born to rise. You've been taught to expect just enough, to apologize for wanting more, to tone down your light for the comfort of others. But heaven is roaring now. Enough. The false humility, the spiritual shrinking, the chronic apologizing for being called. It ends here. Michael says this final stretch is not about survival, it's about dominion. Yes, dominion. The reclaiming of territory that was always yours, but you were too tired, too hurt, or too distracted to defend it. And now, God is restoring not just your position, but your posture. You will walk into rooms with silence, and your presence will speak louder than words, not because you are trying to impress anyone, but because your spirit is now aligned with heaven. The things you used to beg for will begin chasing you. Opportunities will find you. People will ask where you've been, and your answer will be simple: I've been in preparation. Because that's what this all was: the heartbreak, the silence, the isolation, the inner healing, the spiritual warfare. It was preparation for power. And now, child, that power is waking up inside of you. You will no longer question your intuition. You will no longer seek confirmation for what your spirit already knows. You will no longer dim your fire to fit into rooms God never sent you to. A new gate has opened, and heaven is not asking you to crawl through it. It's commanding you to walk through it, with your head held high, and your armor polished. You are not what they called you. You are not what they expected. You are what God anointed in secret, and is now revealing in glory. And in the next few days you will receive a divine signal, an invitation, a message, a door, a sentence that stops you in your tracks. And when it comes, don't question it. Walk through it, because this time the promise is not just near. It's yours. Child, there is something else you must know, and heaven has waited for this precise moment to release it. You are not behind. The enemy has whispered this into your mind over and over, and it has quietly shaped the way you see yourself, the way you move, the way you even pray. You've felt the weight of delay like a shadow on your shoulders, questioning whether you missed your moment, whether the opportunity passed, whether others got ahead while you stayed stuck. But Archangel Michael now declares with thunder, you are exactly where God intended you to be for the miracle He's about to deliver. Time is not your enemy. In the kingdom, obedience outranks speed. Heaven did not design your journey to look like anyone else's, and every detour, every heartbreak, every delay has been recalibrated for glory. What others rushed into, you were refined for. What others tried to build in a season of ego, God has reserved for you in a time of maturity. You have been shaped in silence. You have been trusted in suffering, and now you are being released, not as a follower of trends, but as a breaker of cycles.
This is why you had to feel the stillness. This is why the room grew quiet around you. God wasn't punishing you. He was positioning you to hear without distraction, because the instruction you're about to receive will not come through the crowd. It will come through clarity, and you'll recognize it. It may come in the form of a dream that feels more real than waking. It may come in a moment of stillness when time seems to pause, or in the words of someone who doesn't even know they're prophesying. But when it comes, your spirit will know, and this time you won't second guess it. This time you won't sabotage it. This time you'll step forward, not as someone trying to earn it, but as someone who knows it was written into your DNA before your first breath. Heaven is aligning resources, aligning people, aligning timing, and the shift that once felt far off is already rippling into your reality. Don't move in fear. Don't run ahead. Simply stay in divine rhythm, because the miracle is not late. It's arriving in perfect order. Beloved one, lean in closer, for Archangel Michael is still speaking, and the heavens have not yet finished what they started in you. What I must now reveal may shake you, but it is meant to awaken you. There is something being resurrected in your life that you thought was buried for good. A calling, a connection, a promise, something sacred you grieved like a death. And yet, here it comes again, not as a memory, but as a miracle. The dreams you walked away from, the visions that grew dim, the ideas that felt too far gone, heaven is breathing on them again. But here's what's different this time: you're ready. Your heart has been refined. Your motives have been purified. Your vision is no longer clouded by approval or applause. What once would have crushed you will now confirm you. What once would have distracted you will now drive you. Michael says, there is a shift coming so sudden, it will silence every voice that ever doubted you, including your own. But you must be alert. The enemy senses this resurrection and will attempt to lure you with nostalgia, with people who only loved the version of you that played small. Don't go back. Don't pick up what God helped you put down. This next move requires clean hands and an anchored soul. There will be people who suddenly reappear, not because they've changed, but because they feel your shift and want to hitch a ride on your rising. Let wisdom guide you. Let peace be your confirmation. Heaven will never open a door that requires you to lose yourself to walk through it. And child, this time the door won't come with confusion. It will come with clarity. Your body may feel it before your mind does. A shiver, a pressure, a sudden stillness. That's not random. That's your spirit bearing witness. Pay attention. Heaven speaks in patterns, and in the next 24 hours you'll begin to see it. A word repeated, a number that follows you, a name that won't leave your heart. These are divine signals, breadcrumbs from eternity, guiding you into alignment. And when the sign appears, don't ask for another one. This time trust the voice that's been growing inside you all along. The voice heaven trained, the voice your pain shaped, the voice your angels honor. You're not who you used to be, you're becoming who you were always meant to become. Child, now is the moment heaven has long awaited. Your spirit is open, your heart is aligned, and Archangel Michael stands ready to declare what has been sealed until this very hour. You are not merely being prepared for a breakthrough, you are becoming the breakthrough. Yes, you. Not the polished version of you, not the future version of you. The you reading this right now, with questions still unanswered, with wounds still healing, with a past that still echoes in quiet moments. Heaven is not waiting for your perfection, child. It's responding to your permission, and you've given it. With every tear you cried and didn't hide, with every prayer you whispered when no one saw, with every moment you chose hope over bitterness, those were your offerings, and heaven received them. What's being released now isn't just blessing, it's inheritance. You've tapped into generational promise. There were prayers spoken over your bloodline that are landing on you because you had the faith to still believe. The healing that didn't come to your parents will manifest through you. The curse that took out others in your lineage breaks at your feet. You are the one, the chosen one, and the resistance you faced is proof that hell knew it long before you did. But now you know, and because of that knowing, you'll walk differently, not in arrogance, but in authority, not to impress, but to impact. There are people whose lives will change just by watching you become who God said you are. Don't apologize for that. Don't explain that away. Own it. Own your glow. Own your story. Own the fact that heaven trusted you with something most people would have fumbled. Michael says, you've passed the test, and now the gates are opening. What happens next will seem sudden, but it's been years in the making. The phone call, the release, the opportunity, the open door, it's coming fast. But you won't be overwhelmed. You'll be ready, because this time you know it's not by might or by power, but by the Spirit. You'll walk into it not because you chased it, but because you were called into it. And as the wind of God rushes through your life, lifting what was buried and sweeping away what's expired, your only job now is to keep walking. Don't stop. Don't stall. This is your hour. Beloved, you may feel a stirring right now that you can't explain, a heaviness in the atmosphere that feels less like pressure and more like promise. That's not emotion. That's not coincidence. That is divine confirmation. Archangel Michael whispers, you have crossed into the window of fulfillment. What once seemed like prophecy in waiting is now becoming prophecy in motion. This isn't just a shift. This is a handoff. What your angels warred for in the spiritual realm is now being delivered into your hands in the natural. But I must tell you this, not everything that arrives at your door in this season will be from God. The counterfeit always comes before the covenant. The decoy always shows up before the divine. That's why your discernment is more important now than ever before. Don't trust appearances. Don't be seduced by timing that feels convenient. The enemy will try to sneak in the familiar disguised as destiny, old patterns dressed in new language. But child, you've grown. You see differently now. Your spirit will catch what your eyes cannot. And when it does, obey without hesitation. The real blessing will not require compromise. The real connection will not cause confusion. The real opportunity will not come attached to chaos. Peace will be its passport, and your spirit will know. Michael says, when it shows up, it will carry heaven's fingerprint. You won't have to beg for it. You won't have to break yourself to keep it. It will recognize you, and you will recognize it. And here's the truth. Most won't tell you. Some people will be threatened by your shift. Don't explain it. Don't shrink for it. When God elevates you, it will expose who was only comfortable with your brokenness. Let them be revealed. Let them exit. Because God is now surrounding you with people who speak the same frequency, who carry the same fire, who aren't intimidated by your favor, because they're walking in their own. This is what divine alignment looks like. Doors opening without force, love arriving without pain, wisdom unfolding without fear. And as you walk in this season, remember what's being built through you is bigger than you. Your obedience is birthing legacy. Your yes is echoing into eternity. Your yes is echoing into eternity. Heaven sees it. Michael guards it. And soon the world will witness what the Spirit already knows. Your time has come.
Beloved, I can feel it in the atmosphere. The veil is thinner now than it has ever been. And Archangel Michael is standing in radiant stillness, waiting for your heart to fully grasp what's about to be released. The timing is not random. The confirmation you've been craving is not delayed. It's discerning you. Heaven doesn't rush miracles. Heaven releases them when the vessel is finally aligned. And now heaven sees that you are ready, not perfect, ready. And readiness doesn't look like having everything figured out. It looks like trust in the face of uncertainty. It looks like peace when things don't make sense. It looks like faith that moves even when fear tries to freeze. Michael says, you have crossed into the territory of fulfillment, and your obedience has become the compass for heaven's favor. But there is a secret to this season, one that most overlook. The greatest breakthroughs come in the quiet, not the noise. God is not going to shout in this next season. He's going to whisper. You'll hear him in the subtle promptings, the intuitive nudges, the quiet yes in your chest that says this is it. That's why you must stay sensitive, stay soft, stay open. The enemy is hoping you'll get distracted, hoping you'll get discouraged, hoping you'll get so tired of waiting that you accept less than what was promised. But child, don't settle. Not now, not when you're this close. That relationship that keeps tempting you with half effort, let it go. That offer that comes with strings attached. Walk away. That opportunity that demands you dim your light. Close the door. You are not desperate. You are destined, and what God is sending next will not come through manipulation, but through manifestation. There will be no striving, only flow, no confusion, only confirmation, no begging, only believing. The people who left weren't punishment, they were protection. The silence you've sat in wasn't abandonment, it was calibration. And now that your spirit is tuned, now that your discernment is sharp, heaven can finally release what it's been holding on standby. Watch your email, watch your phone, watch your dreams. The signal is coming, and when it arrives, your only job is to say yes, because that yes will not just change your life, it will echo into generations unborn. And that is why Michael stands by your side, still, not in battle stance anymore, but in reverence. Child, as we draw nearer to the moment when heaven's hand touches your timeline, know this: what's about to happen in your life isn't just about you, it's about everyone who will encounter God through what you survive. Archangel Michael speaks this with divine clarity. The breakthrough that's arriving will birth movements, not just moments. Yes, what you're stepping into is legacy. It's generational. It's prophetic history. And that's why the enemy came so hard against you. Not because you were weak, but because you're a foundation layer. You were called to build what no one else had the strength to start, to carry what others dropped, to break cycles that pretended to be family traditions. And you did it, quietly, consistently, without applause, without an audience. But heaven saw it, and now the God who sees in secret is about to reward you in public. People who forgot you will remember your name, not because of your platform, but because of your purity. Not because of your success, but because of your spirit. The way you stayed kind when bitterness was easier. The way you forgave when vengeance would have felt better. The way you kept showing up to your calling when everything around you said to quit. Heaven has been keeping receipts, child. And Michael says, it's payout time. But here's what makes this harvest different. It's not just for you to enjoy, it's for you to release. You'll be a distributor of healing, of insight, of strategies, of prophetic direction, and people will begin showing up, drawn not by your skill, but by your frequency. They'll say, I don't know why, but I feel peace when I'm around you. That's your anointing speaking, and you'll know what to say, because heaven will put the words in your mouth. You'll know when to move, because heaven will order your steps. You'll know when to rest, because the Spirit will guard your time. This is your season of overflow, but it's also your season of wisdom. Protect what's sacred, guard what's growing, hide what's holy until heaven says it's time. The world is about to witness what favor looks like on someone who stayed faithful when no one was watching. And child, if you feel it even now, go ahead and whisper it. I receive it. That whisper will be enough for the heavens to shake. Beloved, let your spirit rest in this truth. You are no longer waiting, you are walking. The shift has already begun, and while your eyes may still be catching up to what your soul already knows, Archangel Michael says the realm around you is responding to your obedience like never before. Every moment you chose alignment over ambition, surrender over striving, faith over fear. It was recorded, and now the response is unfolding. Don't be surprised when people begin to tell you, I don't know what it is, but something about you feels different. It's because the weight that once dragged your spirit has been replaced with divine gravity. You're not just attracting blessing, you're carrying presence. This is what happens when identity collides with destiny. You're not performing anymore. You're walking in power, not loud, not forced, but undeniable. And as you walk, you'll notice things falling off. Old doubts, old triggers, old worries, they won't fit anymore, because the atmosphere around you has changed. The version of you that over-explained, over-apologized, overextended, that version has been released. And now, what you carry demands reverence. You'll begin to feel it when you enter a space, whether it can hold your new frequency, or whether it pushes back in resistance. Trust that feeling, that's discernment. And as Michael walks beside you, sword lowered now in peace instead of war, you'll feel a protection that doesn't just shield, you'll feel it settle. A deep holy stillness where striving ends and revelation begins.
You'll wake up and feel lighter, not because life is suddenly easy, but because your spirit is no longer wrestling with what God already resolved. You've crossed into the realm of flow. Watch how the right people appear. Watch how confirmation comes in subtle layers. Text, numbers, random phrases that land in your lap like whispers. That's heaven nodding. You're aligned. And in the quiet, where no crowd is clapping, you'll hear the loudest sound of all, the voice of God saying, "Well done." You may not be where you thought you'd be, but you are exactly where heaven needs you to be, for such a time as this.
Child, as we approach the final turn of this divine journey, Archangel Michael stands still, not in silence, but in awe, because what heaven sees in you now is the full formation of what was once only whispered in prophecy. You've endured the shaking, the refining, the pruning, and now you're carrying something holy, a mantle. This isn't just a calling, it's a commissioning. You are stepping into the place of spiritual authority that was reserved for a season such as this. And Michael says, the enemy knows it. That's why the warfare has been so personal. It wasn't about where you lived, what job you had, or what you looked like. It was always about your identity, your voice, your spiritual DNA. The threat you pose to darkness isn't just in what you say, but in what you carry. You carry heaven, you carry healing, you carry permission for others to break free. And that's why the resistance has intensified right before this moment. Because when you rise, others rise too. This is what makes your breakthrough dangerous. It's contagious. And that's why the final test isn't about waiting. It's about walking in it. Can you move even when the applause is gone? Can you obey even when it costs you comfort? Can you be trusted with visibility without compromising the purity of your private worship? Heaven believes you can. That's why you're still here. That's why your angels never stop defending you. And now, as the final veil lifts, you'll see things clearly. Who to align with, what to release, where to plant, when to speak. No more confusion, no more circling. This is forward motion. Watch how people start asking you for wisdom. Watch how favor flows in spaces you never applied for. That's divine endorsement. That's the hand of God marking you openly for what He's already confirmed in secret. You don't have to prove anything. Just walk, just carry it. Because this next chapter isn't about explanation. It's about demonstration. The glory will speak for itself. And when you look in the mirror, you'll see it. The fire in your eyes, the stillness in your breath, the knowing in your soul. This is who I really am. The one heaven trusted, the one the earth needs, the one hell couldn't break. And now, beloved child, as the heavens settle, and this sacred message nears its final word, Archangel Michael places his sword back into its sheath, not because the battle is over, but because you have won this round. The light you carry now has reached a vibrational level the enemy can no longer touch. What you've walked through, what you've cried through, what you've waited through, has all led to this moment, a divine seal over your spirit, a heavenly imprint that declares, this one belongs to the Lord. The angels rejoice, your ancestors breathe a sigh of spiritual relief, and the heavens echo with one truth. You did not miss it. You heard the voice. You stayed through the silence. You honored the whispers. And now the scroll of your destiny unrolls, not with chaos but with clarity. The instructions will come with ease. The guidance will feel familiar, because the one who called you is now walking beside you, more closely than ever. As you rest tonight, signs will continue to arrive, dreams with vivid direction, names that repeat, peace that doesn't make sense. Don't brush them off. Don't doubt them. This time believe. This time respond. And as you do, you'll feel the shift begin to solidify. The wind will feel different. The timing will feel precise. Heaven is no longer in preparation mode. It is in release mode. What was locked is now loosed. What was delayed is now deployed. You have crossed through the veil, and your name has been written, once more, with gold upon the gates of promise. Michael says, the countdown is complete. The window is open. The shift is irreversible. Take one last deep breath. Let the glory settle on your shoulders. You have not been forgotten. You have not been left behind. You have not been left behind. You have not been replaced. You are exactly where heaven needs you to be, and this message, this sacred unfolding was always meant for you. Whisper it if you feel it. Amen. And let the seal be done. What God has spoken over you is final. Now go, mighty one, and walk in it. Have you ever felt like something was calling you, but you couldn't explain it? That strange pull in your chest. The sense that something important is near. That SEP's not your imagination. That SEP's heaven. And right now, Archangel Michael is delivering a message so urgent. The angels fought to get it to you. Don't skip. Don't scroll. This is your moment. And what I say next could be the confirmation you've prayed for in silence.